Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. Once again, my name is Jason, and today we're back with some more Distant Worlds universe. Last time, I think we made another failed attempt to capture Gazuria 1, and that is not going well at all. We are most assuredly not going to win this fight, so let me take a look. Yeah, we're just losing. Straight up, we are losing. The populace does not want us there. They are going to push us off, and yeah, we're gonna lose. It's happening. So what I've decided we're gonna have to do is either wait for planetary bombardment, or we can wait for special operations, or maybe both. Now, speaking of, we'll say, planetary bombardment, I've got our secret agent, Solid Snake. He's off doing that research, not the research mission, the Steel research mission against the Rhodian Hive. And that was actually for, was it, some explosive plasma thing, I can't remember the name, devastating plasma charge. Now you'll notice here, it's actually got this sort of diagonal sort of line across it. And if you actually put your mouse over it, it says Bhaskara and Shakturi only. Yet we're stealing research on it. So it makes me wonder, can we use this technology if we're able to, we'll say, steal it? That would be actually really interesting because, as you can see right here, this here is a technology that is only available to those two races, the Bhaskara and the Shakturi. And there's a couple other, there's a limited number of, we'll say, technologies that are the same way. Like, for example, wave weapons are only available to the Wakaris. So, I'm wondering if we steal enough of this technology, if we can start using a devastating plasma charge. And then if we have this, then we can go ahead and, we'll say, planetary bombard this planet to soften it up, Gazuria 1, to soften it up for our, we'll say, actual invasion, which I'm going to make sure the next time it happens we have special forces. I also found it more fitting. We've got a ship captain named Han Solo, and I felt it was only appropriate to rename his ship the Millennium Falcon. I just think it fits, I think it's appropriate, so we went ahead and we did that. Now, since we're going to be waiting for our, we'll say, technology to, we'll say, catch up, and basically get the appropriate technologies to be able to really take over that planet, I've got to sort of figure out what is my next goal in the meantime, because, you know, my armies are dying here, and I need to be able to put my other ships to work. I need to be working on something else while I'm waiting for the technology. If I just have them sitting around and I'm just twiddling my thumbs while waiting for the technology so that I can go ahead and expand out there, then I'm not really making any additional progress. I'm not making as much progress as I could be. So what I think I might do is deal with any, we'll say, pirate threats that might be in my territory. Like, we know for sure that this one here, the I can't pronounce this. Ephedrian system has a small spaceport that has, you know, a different pirate faction there. So, you know, that's what I'm probably gonna focus my efforts on, say for this, we'll say this period while I'm waiting. Now, I do think that it is interesting to note that, you know, looking here, we see pirate faction here, pirate faction here. We have two pirate factions over here, and so we these little flags, they denote, you know, where all the pirate factions are that we know of. And, you know, as our exploration ships keep going on, we may find more, but I want to try to make sure that we've got no pirate factions in our place, because, like I said, pirates can hold down an empire, especially if they're not being paid off. Actually, there's something for me to do. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Rhodian Hive. Now, if we look at these lines here, it does look like they're starting to catch up to us. We are definitely falling behind, because we haven't been able to expand, and two, you know, we haven't really been able to, really make too much progress. We keep, you know, losing troops and stuff like that, so we're basically losing resources. Now, I thought that maybe we could see if they're paying off any of the pirates, but we can't see that information, and I guess that makes sense, because then that would, you know, that would indicate that they are working with pirates, and that, you know, that just working with pirates can hurt our reputation. If you, for example, if you look at our reputation is dubious. However, that might have been just because, you know, we were detected doing intelligence missions. Let me take a look. I wanted to take another good look at the, say, victory conditions here. We are, say, 4th What is the Dandalus technocracy? That's how I'm going to say it for now. What is their race victory conditions? It's let's see, fewest treaties, fewest wars, and perform the most research. So it kind of feels like they're obviously it's in their name. They're the technological, but they're almost kind of isolationists. So it kind of makes sense that they would want to expand because they're not going to work with others. They don't play well with others because it says have the fewest treaties in the galaxy. That means they're not going to be willing, to have free trade agreements, and they're not going to want to have, mutual defense pacts and stuff like that. So these guys here are going to be pretty much loners, and while they might be ahead now, I suspect that they're going to get ganged up on. So, so we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna maybe look around. If I see anything of note, I'll come back to you guys. But basically, I'm just gonna be planning my moves in the meantime while I'm waiting for, the technology to finish researching. Alright, so our agent, Donato Icarus, whatever, has evaded detection after stealing the territory map of the Naxxless, was it corporation? Naxxless something. Let me see, what was it? Naxxless Union, sorry. And our agent Solid Snake has evaded detection while having successfully stolen research information on devastating plasma charges from the Rhodian Hive. So, first things first, I'm gonna get those guys back on missions, and then we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the Naxxillian. I think that was the name of them. And as we can see here, having gotten rid of that other jerk. Look at his espionage skill. It's now at 52%. Snake is getting a lot better at his espionage job, which means after we're done with the Rhodian Hive, we're going to be able to start getting, we're probably going to start stealing technology from the technocracy. Phased beams. So does that mean we stole the... Okay, so it appears that I can't steal any more about the devastating plasma charges, which makes me wonder if we just can't get that technology. I suspected that was the case. No, we have it right here. Devastating plasma charge. Interesting. It says completed though. So technically we have the technology. I don't know. I'll have to go ahead and take a look at the we'll say the ship design screen and see if I can use that technology now, or if that's just unlocked for whatever reason. Let's see, let's see, how many intelligence agents do we have? We've got 3. We've got him, we have him, which we sent out on a mission, and apparently he's decent at PsyOps. Ooh. Now, PsyOps, basically those are missions like inciting rebellions, inciting revolutions. Basically, you're upsetting the populace of a particular planet. So, that's gonna be helpful going forward. I'm not sure what mission to give him right now, though. What I'm thinking of is... Now, we know about the Gazurians, that's right, and I wanted to have their territory map. So, stealing a territory map is a good, we'll say, early mission. He's got 92% chance, so we'll send him out on that, and that'll help him develop his skills a little bit more. So, we've got 2 agents out on missions, and we've got this guy here working on, we'll say, counterintelligence. It's tough because this guy here ultimately is better at counterintelligence, but he's got the potential to do so much more. So these, what I think I'm going to actually do is actually cancel this mission. Donato Icarus, he's got the potential to do so much. However, I want him on counterintelligence because he's going to be much better at it. This guy here, because he can improve his espionage skills, and that's likely going to be the only thing he's good at, I'm going to get him to go ahead and steal the territory map from the Gazurian conformity. 90%, okay, that's right on the line of what I like, and we'll send him off to do that. Alright, so we've got in the Gamur Junction, we've encountered the Naxxillian Union. Let's go ahead and take a look at their planet. So let's see, they've got, where are they at? Alright, so we've completed research in long-range lasers. That's great. I'll go ahead and retrofit that in a second. Come on, there we go. Let me zoom in. So they've actually got rings around their planet. That's really cool. Okay, do we have the great Basically, we have discovered the great archives of Tenab, ancient ruins from a lost civilization at the ice planet Tenab 7 in the Tenab system. Surveying from orbit indicates that the ruins lie deep in snowdrifts at the peak of the windswept mountain pass. Should we investigate the ruins? Yes, please. Oh, the history of the Kiadian. Kiadian? Basically, the guys with the great big heads, and they're typically blue on the galaxy map. In the ruins of the Great Archives of Tenab, we have found very old documents from earliest prehistory. These documents describe epic events in the history of the Kiadian race. They state that long ago the Coyotes, I'm going to call them coyotes, it's easier for me to say, once fought against a colossal force of extragalactic alien invaders. The Coyote Empire was an important member of an alliance that battled these evil invaders. The outcome of this epic war is not mentioned. The discovery of this bold and heroic past will increase the happiness for all empires of the Cayadian race. So I will say inadvertently gave that empire a bonus. So that's a little bit, we'll say, unfortunate. I'm giving them a bit of a boost, but, well, it happens. Maybe they'll find, some ruins about humans of the past, and that'll be great for us. Now the Nexilian Union wants a free trade agreement with us. You know what? Sure. I think that sounds like a great idea, because, like I said, I want to sort of try to make friends with as many people as possible, because, one, getting trade going, and, getting a trade so I can get a lot of money. But if I become basically invaluable, if I become indispensable, like I am the empire that has all the resources that they want, they're less likely to fight against me. So I'm probably going to set up some even more mining bases, so I can fulfill the need of all the other empires, so they can kind of become dependent upon me. And, as you do that, develop a lot of trade, you become a lot more friendly with each other, and then that leads to mutual defense pacts and all that. A free trade agreement with these guys. I don't believe I know where you guys are situated yet. You and us be friends. Have free trade agreement. Lots of money. Yeah, sure. I'll do that too. Oh yeah, they are down here. So I'm not sure how much trade I'm going to be doing with them. They're quite a ways away, but it'll still happen. Now, I kind of skimmed over this before, but as you can see right here, we have, it says pleased, cautious, and this basically shows our relationship with the other factions. And like I said, I've gone over this before. This number here shows the amount bonus we're going to be getting from the trade, and this number here shows, I believe, the actual amount of trade that they're doing towards us. Now, this here indicates, I believe, our sentiments towards them. Let me think about this again. No. This is how they see us. That's right. So right here it says pleased. So they are pleased with us. Now, if we click on them, we could see that we are pleased with them. These two things do not always equal the same. So, like, for example, these guys here, they're actually, I'm not even sure if it is an example, but the Tekin Corporation is cautious of us, but if we click on them, okay, we're cautious of them as well. Rhodian Hive, they are angry with us, and we're furious with them. So, and I can prove this by basically, if I'm here, it says that they are angry. If I click on them, it shows right here, they are angry with us. Therefore, this furious does not match up with it specifically saying that they're angry with us, so we know that this means that we are furious with them. So we don't have a very good relationship with the Rhodian Hive, despite the fact that our ambassador is over there. Your colonies and bases trespass in our system. So it's mostly because of our mining bases and that they really just don't like us, because we've laid claim to what they feel is theirs. So I just wanted to point out, because I've seen other videos, other people playing the game, and they didn't quite understand, we'll say, the distinction between what these words were. Does it mean, is that what we think about them? Does it go back both ways, whatever? But no, when you click on a faction, all the other words, all the other numbers, everything basically relates to how the other faction views them. Anyways, enough of that, we'll say a little explanation. Let's go back to waiting. And by waiting, of course, I meant go to the design screen so that I could see if we had the new technology. And we do have the Shakturi Firestorm. That is very nice. And let me see. We don't have it on our cruiser, our cruisers yet, but I think we should. We should definitely be putting, we'll say, bombarding weapons on our cruisers. So before we go ahead and make our next strike, one, like I said, I want to make sure we have special forces, and two, we're going to bombard the planet first. We're going to soften it up, and then we're going to send down our troops to take over the planet. Now that does mean that the planet's condition will be damaged. We can repair it over time, but it's going to be necessary. I just don't think we can take the planet at full force. We're going to need to soften it up, then go in with special forces and ground troops and take it over. Okay, yeah, we really need to get a rush on our expansion. I'm noticing the Tikans here have actually 2 additional colonies, so they've expanded out. Speaking of Tikans, we've discovered another independent colony. Let me see, where are you located? It's Tika 3, which tells me it's probably it's not in Tikan territory. We actually could make a, actually wait, we might be able to take a grab at that. What's the population of Tika 3 here? Let me see here. Population actually is fairly low. We probably could take that planet. Actually, this is another target. However, this will really, we'll say, hurt relationships with this will kind of put some more pressure on, we'll say, these 2 factions here, the Asilis and the Tikans, and the Rhodians as well. So if it's kind of got to be a calculated decision. If we go ahead and, oh no, something's fighting on. Okay, the fearsome merchant cartel. I noticed there was fighting going on Tika 3. But it's basically just a pirate raid. Pirates will periodically, a lot of times with independent colonies or very weak empire colonies, try to raid resources and stuff from the planet. So even if they were to, like, if their forces were able to push all the way over to the other side, they don't take over the planet. They just succeed in their raid. But it looks like these guys here are able to repel it. But we do get a chance to see their actual strength in action here. They're only at about 112. We could very easily take that planet. So I'm actually wondering if we should hit that one first and then try to go for Gazuria later with the bombardment tactics. I'm not going to bombard Tika because I feel that that would really upset the Tikans here, who we're actually pretty friendly with right now. Now, I noticed this planet here, basically, if you notice a star with like a little ring around it, it means that there is a colony there. And if we click on there, we notice there's a pirate flag, the Kalarba Major Confederation. And so you're probably wondering, wait a second, pirates, they don't own planets. Well, they can. Eventually, over time, if a pirate is able to build a hidden pirate base, then basically it's a 3-stage affair here. They build a hidden pirate base, and then after they continue putting more money and influence into the planet, they can build a hidden pirate fortress. And if they're not stopped by the time they build a criminal network on the planet, they go ahead and okay, I'll take a look at that. So 4. Basically, if they make the criminal network, then they basically succeed and they can take over the planet and rule it as if they were just another empire. So we actually have a pirate faction here that now owns its own planet. Now, so we have Jairus Helen of the Dark Freightways managed to escape our forces after successfully destroying one of our mining stations. So that was basically a pirate intelligence agent, but we know who did it. It was the Dark Freightways, and we don't have a deal with them, so we're going to destroy them anyways. Another independent colony of Gazurians is located, and where are you situated? You're in Zerbia 1, so that's actually a little bit further out from the Gazuria 1. So yeah, we probably won't touch that for a little while, but yeah, there's a pirate, we'll say, colony right there, and that's going to provide them a lot of money. See, that's one of the nice things about having we'll say colonies is you can charge taxes, and that's usually an advantage that the pirates don't have. They actually have to work for their money. So this faction here has the potential to grow and become a real problem for the forces in the area. So we got to keep that in mind. If we take this planet here, we're going to have these pirates, and we're going to have these pirates to deal with, as well as the ones we have paid off. Oh, Galactic Newsnet. The Tikan Corporation. Dormant Silver Mist nanocloud has been triggered inside ruins at some place. Where inside... inside the ruins at Iskabara Minor 3 in the Iskabara Minor system in G7. Where's G7? Okay, I'm gonna slow things down here because a lot of stuff's happening. G7, that is right here. So in this sector, oh man, so they unleashed a silver mist cloud. Now, what the silver mist is this kind of like a cloud of nanomachines that like to basically disassemble and take everything apart. And they appear as this sort of cloud that floats through space, but they will destroy everything in their path. If they go to a colony, they will kill the populace. So that has been unleashed, and it will basically start moving out and, you know, just consuming everything in its path. So that is basically, that's another thing to worry about. It's kind of like the giant Kaltors, but it's a little bit more troublesome because as it consumes, it splits and it grows, and it can become a big problem. Let's see here. Okay, so I think that was about it. So right now I'm considering taking this planet here. And eventually, like I said, when I get the technologies, I'm going to bombard and take Gazuria if it doesn't get taken, before we get there. We do have some, it looks like some private ships in the area, and they do seem to be going there fairly often, but I noticed that they're jumping out of system, which tells me that there's pirates there. So I'm hoping that the pirates can hold on to it for a little bit longer, in that, like, say, Asilis, for example, these guys don't take that planet. But it's either way, like I said, it's going to be a real fight for that planet. However, I suspect when our intelligence agent gets back with the territory map of the Gazurian conformity, that we're going to find out that they're a little bit up here. So that's something else for me to consider here. I've got some choices in front of me now. Yeah, see, look, now they're really starting to expand. They're starting to colonize all over the place. I need colonization technology like yesterday. Alright, so I was looking around, trying to find, we'll say, suitable planets for me to colonize, and I noticed a lot of the planets around me immediately are basically desert or volcanic, with a couple oceans. So I was like, man, there's nowhere I can colonize fairly quickly. But then I noticed one marshy swamp planet, so I'm actually going to queue up marshy swamp colonization after enhanced storage here, and that is here in the Urellan system. So basically, as soon as we can, we'll say, start colonizing, I believe the closest planet I was able to find that was, we'll say, one of the lower, we'll say the easier to colonize types is this planet right here, Urellan 4. It does appear that there's a pirate, there's definitely a pirate presence in the area, but that's probably going to be our first, we'll say, expansion. That's not going to be through, we'll say, conquest. Let me do a double check here. Yeah, Namkuris Yelex is an ice planet. Yeah, ice is one of the extremes too. So, Ufridian, what about you? Yeah, you're marsh as well. So it seems like our best bet is to go for a marshy planet colonization. I'm actually a little bit, I'm a little bit sad that there's not a lot of, we'll say, what's the word I'm looking for? Acceptable? Ideal. There's not a lot of ideal planets for our colonization, and that makes me a little bit sad. I'm like, man, I'm really gonna have to go up far in the colonization tech tree to be able to expand in my immediate area. I'm probably gonna have to switch more over to, we'll say, military might and, you know, strong arming my way to get territory now, which I want to hold off on doing as long as possible. But you know, I like the fighting, I like the wars, but at the same time, you know, I still want to be, you know, a decent guy. So, yeah, we'll see how all that plays out. Alright, so we have actually finally finished research in colonization. However, that just means that we can build a colonization module. It doesn't mean we can actually colonize anything. I believe the only way we can actually use this technology right now is if we try to colonize a planet that has basically already been colonized, like an independent planet that's friendly towards us. We don't know about any of those, so we can't really use that. Which is, like I said, why we're aiming for marshy swamp colonization. So, we're getting there. We are getting there. Currently, I am building up we'll say, my army, because I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and maybe take a stab at getting Tika. I realize, like I said, that's going to damage some relations, and that might start up a war, you know, depending on how things are going. Let me take a look at what my, we'll say, relationship is with these guys. These guys seem fine. The Tikans are annoyed with me. This is definitely not going to help anything. However, if I recall correctly, one of their victory conditions is they don't want to start any wars. So, let me see right here. Extremely passive. So, if I tick them off, they're not likely to retaliate. So, I'm going to try to take this Tikan planet. And these ones here I might have to worry about, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to likely pay them off. I'll just, keep throwing money their way so they don't come and fight me. I do believe that eventually a war against the Rhodian Hive will become unavoidable. So that's likely going to happen. So basically my short-term plan here is to go ahead and take Tika while I wait for special forces to finish developing, and then I'm going to try to get Gazuria, if it doesn't, like I said, fall into the Gazurian conformity, which when am I supposed to find out about that? Let me see. Snake! No, wait, it wasn't Snake, it was, this guy, who I need a name for. You know what? For the time being, we're going to stick with the Metal Gear Solid references. We're going to call him Big Boss. Why the heck not? Alright, so you're going to be completing that on... Oh! 1 day. It's 1 day off from the date, so we're gonna go ahead and wait for Big Boss to get back with his information. Your mission should have been done by now. Where's the intel? I need the intel. I noticed that sometimes it ticks over the expected date. Is that an estimated date, or is that a set date? Let me see. Completed. It says it's been completed. It's just we haven't gotten the information yet. So, I noticed a lot of what happens in the game tends to be on sort of a cycle. I haven't been able to figure out. I think it's like a 20-day cycle, 19-day, around there. And then that's when usually things update. There we go. Our agent, Solid Snake, has evaded detection after having successfully stolen research information on phased beams. And Big Boss has evaded detection after successfully stolen the territory map. And I was right! Ooh! That is in their territory! Darn it, if we wouldn't have known... and we've encountered a new empire. The Rindula colonies. Yosel Prime, where is that? Okay, so we don't know about them either. So yeah, if we go ahead and take Gazuria, we're going to get some pushback from them, and I really don't want to tick off two factions at the same time. Okay, so this is our one hope at, we'll say, expanding, is Tika, and then maybe pushing out this way. Yeah, we're gonna have to start, ticking off an empire, and I really don't want to tick off more than one empire at a time. So it's probably going to be the Rhodians. Sorry guys, the Baskara are about to, we'll say, join our empire. Of course, after we get our first colony over here. But I'm going to let them declare the war. I don't want to start the war, I just want to sort of keep pushing them until they decide that they want to start a war with me, and then I'll go ahead and we'll say, try to beat them back and take some of their territory. Because yeah, I don't feel that messing with the Gazurians right now. Let me see. Actually, how powerful are they? Let's take a look at Empire comparison. They are actually only slightly ahead of us in which category? Green? No, blue. It's hard to tell. It's so close. What about military strength? We are actually one of the most powerful militaries out there. Rhodian Hive's actually pretty close to us. I'm not confident that we could necessarily, we'll say, beat them back, but okay, that's interesting to know that the Gazurians are weaker than us. But like I said, I still don't want to start. I just still don't want hostilities on two borders. So I guess we're gonna abandon the capturing of Gazuria for now. Okay, because I really want to get that colonization going, I started a crash research project on enhanced storage. It cost me about 218 grand, I think it was. So it cost me quite a bit, but that should help that fill up a lot quicker so that we can get to work on other colonization efforts. This mining station is under attack. Where is this mining station? I'm thinking I might want to put some new components on my mining stations so that they can fight back against pirate threats a little bit more effectively. Maybe do some, we'll say, custom designing for them. However, wait a second. That's a mining station in someone else's territory. Interesting. So my guess is that we went ahead and we built a mining base. Where was it? Actually, where's the one that's being destroyed? Right here. Oh, okay. So I think we built one here before they colonized here? So technically we've got mining bases in their territory. Okay. So I'm not sure if that will hurt relations, or if they'll understand that, hey, we were there first, and technically they're the ones stepping on our toes. Our intelligence network has uncovered covert arrangement of the Rindula colonies. Those are the new guys, the Mortallans. We haven't taken a look at them. It was a new empire we learned about, but we haven't found out where they are. The Rindula colonies have made a secret deal with a pirate faction, the Kalarba Major Confederation, to attack the ships and bases of the Pantulumen Prime Authority. I don't even know who those are. Warning the Pantulumen Prime Authority about the secret deal will no doubt earn their gratitude towards us. It will also damage the reputation of the Rindula colonies. Should we quietly warn the blah 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 Prime Authority about this arrangement? Now this is interesting. Basically, we've intercepted information basically about one empire hiring mercenaries to attack another empire. I don't really know about either of these factions. I don't really want to get involved yet because I don't know the strength of both of these factions. I think these guys are probably a little bit more off to the left side of the map and a little bit outside of our, we'll say, we don't know anything about them. So I'm going to keep this information to myself. Ourselves, because I don't know the strength of each, and I want to be able to pick my my friends based on information. So we're going to keep it to ourselves and just ignore it for now. Alright, so our researchers have completed research in advanced maneuvering, which means, our ships can turn a little bit quicker. That's a nice thing to have. So, at this point here, I feel like we've pretty much got most of the... I think we got pretty much all the tier 3 technologies that we can get. So we're starting to look here what we want to prioritize over here. So we've already got component prefabrication and damage control, which are must-haves. Accelerated construction will allow us to actually get resupply ships, and resupply ships are nice because basically they're basically, well, it's just like the name says. There's ships that carry around fuel and stuff like that, and they can go around. They're basically mobile bases that you can send out to your fleets to refuel them so that you can, we'll say, have extended missions in other territories. That's actually a nice tech to get. Enhanced energy collection will be nice to get, but it's not necessary at this time. I don't think anyways. Let's see, fast mining. That means that we'll be able to mine quicker, which could actually improve our trade because we'll have a lot more supplies to be able to trade with. So I'm thinking about that. There's also improving our hyperdrives further so that we can travel faster and make our jumps just slightly quicker as well. There's also different, we'll say, shield advancements we can make, as well as different branches that we can take for our different reactors, or these are our reactors. Now you'll notice here at this point here we start to get different choices. Things start to branch out a little bit. Like you have enhanced engines, but we can choose to focus in one of these areas. Now a lot of times these choices eventually kind of converge on one point, and so you do eventually want to get all of them. That way there you can go ahead and get, we'll say, some other tech down the road. But right now we need to prioritize what we need right now. So I'm gonna actually take a second to look over my choices, and I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, I think I've got my choices. Basically, I figured we're about to go to war, right? We're going to be doing a lot of fighting, so I figured we would start with accelerated construction. That would get me resupply ships. That way there I could go ahead and, make sure that my ships that are out, we'll say, defending, we'll say maybe Tika, Tika 3, whatever the planet, if we manage to get it, because we might have to we might be having to capture, we'll say, some independent colonies a little bit outside of our range of being able to colonize. So I'm going to start with that. Second choice was a shield reinforcement. I want our shields to be a little bit more effective, a little bit stronger, and this also paves the way for me to get massive shield projection, which allows me to put a shield, a planetary shield up, which means I become immune to bombardment. And I know that the Bhaskara, the Rhodian Hive, they do tend to like to bombard planets. So basically by putting this up, it will also protect my people. The only way for them to be able to get the planet is to actually send troops down, or, worst case scenario, they can, if there's a world destroyer on the map, that's kind of like a big Death Star thing, they can still blow up the planet, but generally massive shield projection kind of really helps secure that planet as yours. So we're going to go with a shield reinforcement after that. Then followed by advanced jump stalling, because I want the increased range. I want to be able to stop ships from escaping from me when I want them destroyed. And then after that, jump sequence optimization, which will improve basically the speed, and I think it actually makes it so that we can initiate our jump sequence about a second quicker. So that'll be, it's just a nice optimization for our hyperdrive. Now, the one that I really had a lot, I had a lot to think about was the reactors. Now, I'm not sure why I would pick Fission Mastery, because if we look here, we're coming off of nuclear supercharging, which gives us an energy output of 72, storage capacity of 125. It uses Caslon. Now, this is sort of, we'll say the next step of that, the next stage. Energy output of 86, storage capacity of 150, and it's also using Caslon. But if we go down here, quantum exploitation, we get an energy output of 120, a storage capacity of 230, and also uses Caslon. The only downside I can see is that it uses, let me see, 3.84 fuel units per 1,000 energy units, and this one has 3.48 fuel units. So it makes me think that maybe this is better for, we'll say, weapon systems, and it's not so good for range. I think that's really the only downside. It's also got much better, we'll say, stats right now than the, we'll say, the fusion physics. However, we're eventually going to, the fusion physics, basically, it uses hydrogen. This uses Caslon. Eventually, when we get to fusion balance, we're going to be making the switch over to hydrogen. So technically, once we get here, we're not going to be able to advance at all until we get this line up here, and then we're going to be switching over to hydrogen anyways. So the way I see it is this here will help give us maybe a more of a an early sort of boost to our energy efficiency, but then we'll say long run we're going to plateau and we're going to have to wait until the rest of the technology catches up. But either way, we need to research both sides before we can get fusion balance. So let me see. What's the energy output? 145, 175. Yeah, so it seems like this here is probably the best course to take initially. Also, I was looking at my resources, and it seems, actually, I think I've got less Caslon, though. That is one thing I need to consider. I do have less Caslon than hydrogen. So maybe I'll build some more mining bases or something, but I think that's the approach. I'm going to commit to that. So we'll go ahead and commit to that. Okay, interesting. We basically just got information that the Daedalus Technocracy have made a secret deal with a pirate faction, the Fearsome Merchant Cartel, which actually I think we're the ones... yeah, I think we've actually got an arrangement with them to attack the ships and bases of the Rhodian Hive. We are going to keep this information to ourselves because, like I said, we secretly want the Rhodian Hive gone ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and keep that to ourselves, and yeah, we'll just let that happen. Now, if it was maybe the other way around, and I wanted to get in good with whatever they're called, then I would have probably, you know, maybe spilled the beans on that. But let's see, more ruins. Let's take a look. Absolutely nothing. So currently, we have our Strike Force Alpha is en route to Tika 3, and I'm really hoping that the Tikans haven't already, we'll say, expanded out to that area. Because if they did, then that's going to be sort of an act of war, and I don't want that to happen. I'll have to pull my guys back, but because basically I haven't explored that area yet, we don't know. So we have encountered a new empire in the Kenarath Prime System, the Shandar Paradise. I don't believe we have their map yet, but we'll find out about that a little bit more, about them in a little bit. Also, I just noticed that we know where the Mortalins are. I will have to adjust my... Actually, we'll do that right now. I basically sent Big Boss off on a map to steal their territory map. We don't need it because we know where they are situated. So let's change gears and tell him to steal the territory map of the Shandar Paradise. All right, Big Boss, you go do that. And actually, was there anything else I missed? Our engineers have completed a research in enhanced storage. That actually would have been great if I would have had that before sending my troops off here, because as you can see, we'll say my range, my fuel, they're all running fairly low. If I would have waited just a little bit longer, retrofitted them, then you know, we would have maybe been able to make it back a little bit quicker, because basically I find the hyperdrives, it's not that they stop working altogether when you're out of fuel, it's just your speed is greatly reduced. So it means that you're not entirely stuck if you run out of fuel, but it's still not ideal because you also can't generate more power for, like, say, your weapons. Are those pirates? Are those the pirates we have an arrangement with? That is Fearsome Merchant Cartel. Those are the pirates that we have an arrangement with. So we're not... I don't think we're gonna be firing on them. No, they're probably just harassing the colony. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what it was. The colony was recently raided, so they were basically just raiding the colony. Poor guys. They were just raided. They just got beat up by the pirates, and now we're coming in to take over the planet. And, like I said, since we have an arrangement with these pirates, they are not going to hassle us. However, our warp deny is in effect, so they can't actually escape. Ah, poor guys. Oh, and they're being raided again by the Fearsome Merchant Cartel. Oh, man, these guys just can't catch a break. Let me see. Actually, where are my troop transports? Are you guys still en route? Are you lagging behind? Is that you? Oh, they turned around! No! Come back! Attack that! Oh. Oh, no, you're supposed to... All our troops are flying away. There's a failed mission, everybody. Alright. Let's cancel that. We need to... We're gonna go ahead and retrofit our strike force. Actually, I'm gonna select this one, the Millennium Falcon specifically. Okay, good. I just want to make sure he's just refueling. Also, the capital ship looming action, you're also just refueling. Alright, so never mind that strike. I guess our troop transports did not want to stick around. That's probably my fault. I went and I hit A to sort of tell them to automate afterwards, but I guess they hit their condition for turning back, and they did just that. So, all right, we're gonna have to delay our assault on them a little bit longer. Unfortunately, we will return though. We can definitely take that planet. Alright, so we stole information, or the technology of phased beams, so we now can actually add phased beams to our ships. Is there anything else? Rhodian Hive, we have everything they have. So let's turn our attention to the Daedalus Technocracy. Technocracy? It's still so weird. Now that, we'll say our espionage for Solid Snake is at 65%, hopefully we can go ahead and steal some tech from them now. Continental colonization, that would be wonderful. 88%, that's a little bit low for my liking. I like 90%. But you know what? We're gonna do it anyways, because it's really close to 90, and I really want some, we'll say, additional technologies, and he's only gonna get better as time goes on. No! Our agent Big Boss has been captured while preparing to steal the territory map of the Shandar Paradise. Well, they're not going to be happy with us, and I'm not happy either because we lost one of our intelligence agents. No! Alright, I guess we'll have to hold someone hostage or for ransom for Big Boss's remains. Okay, now that is an interesting offer. The Asilius Major Enclave has offered a galaxy swap. So basically, they want to swap everything we know for everything they know. Now, since they're a bit more off to the left, I suspect that I suspect this would be a good deal for us, because they get information about this side, we get information about this side. This is actually, normally I don't like giving away maps, but this here has the potential of really showing us where the other factions in the game are. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept their proposal. And, good to see you again. What's on your mind? Okay. And what did we learn? That's all we learned? That's it? That's all you knew? Wait, but that tells me here... Whoa, does that mean that all the factions are all bunched over up on the right-hand side? That means there's a lot of expansion. Go west, young man, we need to go to the west! Because it looks like that's where all the independents are and stuff. Now, there's still a couple factions that are unaccounted for. I think it's the Sikurans, or one of them, that are absent. I don't see them here, so we still don't know about them. Actually, I feel like we kind of got the raw end of that deal. That's crap. That sucks. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I shouldn't have taken that deal now. now that I think about it, like, darn it. Oh well. Oh well, what's done is done. Alright, I'm waiting for stuff to retrofit. Unfortunately, I am out of time, so we won't actually get the chance to do the assault on Tika 3. I was really hoping to get that done. Man, these intelligence missions and crap are getting on my nerves. But anyways, I'm out of time. So, I was really hoping to be able to go ahead and, you know, start the invasion, but I'm very confident that next time we will be able to do that. So, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game, because saving the game is a good idea. We're gonna save this as LP8, because it is after our 8th episode. Anyways, if you like the content and would like to see more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you thought in the comment section. And until next time, I would like to ask you all to game on.